Good morning and welcome back to Quinta, Fonte, Pipa again. Today we're going to be laying the cement floor and we're going to be putting the flooring on top of the cement floor. So it's going to be a lot of floor work, and I would like to say a real big thank you to Joe and Steve for giving us the boxes of laminate to be able to do the shed and for my kitchen, which explains why I'm covered in paint, for any of you guys wondering. And I just want to apologise for not uploading last week's video. As most of you already know, we've been out looking for the dogs and we still haven't found anything or any information.
There's a snake in the driveway. Hello, young man. Oh, you're alive then? It's a ladder snake. Checking me out. Alright, chat. Well, don't go near the house.
How are you getting on, Dad?
Alright, I think I've just finished. Oh,
Been in here all morning?
yeah, I've just rendered this last wall, and then I've got that little bit up there. At last I'm about ready to concrete the floor in the workshop. So it's about the last move before I can start putting my benches and moving back in and put these windows back in here. Well, rearrange what I had because they weren't, they didn't actually have glass in them. I think they used to keep birds in there after the pigs. So I need to buy some perspex or do something to seal the windows up. But that'll be later on. And I've just realised that the wheelbarrow is not going to fit through the doorway, so it's quite a lot of concrete we've got to pour. So I brought the start of my mix here. I'm going to bring more in, but I don't know how I'm going to get it in the shed. I've got an idea though. Well, how's that? It'd be alright if everything went that quick, wouldn't it? I don't know how long it's going to last or if it's going to fall over when we do it, but it's got to save me shoveling the concrete into the building because that's a lot of work. So the idea is that we mix it here, and then we're going to pour the concrete into this ramp, and it's going to flow out. Give you a better idea of what I'm trying to do. So now I'm about ready to start putting my line around the building to get the level of the floor correct, because we're about to lay the concrete in the workshop here, and I thought I'd explain how we do that with a piece of tubing and some colour dyed water inside the tubing. I think it's a Roman method, but I was thinking about it the other day. I thought, well, the Romans never had rubber tubes, so I don't know how they would have done this, but the Portuguese use this a lot, and it's an extremely reliable way of doing it if you haven't got a laser level. So I've marked the wall here. I don't know if you guys can see it. We brought the camera in a bit, so maybe you can see it. That mark there is 1 metre from the highest part of my floor in my room. So what I want to do is I hold this tubing there, and it'll move up and down a little bit as the water moves around in the pipe, and I've got that sitting right on that mark now. The other end of my tubing the water will sit exactly the same level, so it doesn't matter where I take the other end of the tubing around in this building, that line will be exactly the same level here. So in a second Molly's going to stand and hold this here and tell me when that's correct, and I'm going to go around the building at certain points and mark a metre up. And you might think, well, why have you done it a metre up? You're not going to put a metre of concrete in here. It's because the floor's uneven and everything else. You give yourself a level mark all the way around, and then I'll measure down. Say I measure down 80, that will leave me 20 centimetres of concrete floor. I hope I've explained that correctly. Right, okay Molly, you're going to come in and jump over and take hold of this.
Yeah.
Because if you hold that exactly there like that, it shouldn't matter what I do at the other end. This moves up and down, it should settle, but you've got to always tell me
That's on the black
that that's on there. So you might want to squat down so you're holding it
bit more level.
not so much. No, well, it's going to now leave it because I've moved the pipe, and it will settle. Now it'll settle back at exactly the same point. Yeah.
Okay.
You might, well, you moved it a bit, so yeah, and it's that tiny little bit to make a difference to the floor, so keep it spot on it. Yeah. Right. Oh. So well, what we'll do is whilst Molly's there, I'm going to do the bit over here. And for some reason, the food colouring is a little bit darker in this end, so you might pick it up on the camera, you might not. So, and it might make it easier to understand.
That's on the black.
Okay, well Molly's saying that's it. Now the water level here, now it's stopped moving. That's a metre there. I can then move round to here.
Hang on.
Yeah, I've got to wait for Molly to tell me that it stopped bouncing, that it's actually sat on her level correctly, and Molly will adjust it, not me.
It's on the black.
Yeah, you sure?
Yep.
Okay. There's the water's going up, it's coming down, and Molly's going to get it till it sits level at the other end.
Level.
Sure that's level? Yeah?
Yep.
Right, then I can go right across the room. Is it still straight there then?
Yep.
Right, I'll go over here.
Oh, that went up a lot.
That's because I just stood up. So as Molly adjusts her end up and down to get it accurate, this will move up and down ever so slight, well, as much as she moves it.
Level.
Is it level? I might do another one close to Molly over there. It's still a bit wet, this wall. I only finished this one yesterday. I can feel the moisture in it still.
Level.
You sure? Right, normally you'd put 6 inches of concrete, something like that, in a floor or a garage or something, but this is just from my workshop, and it's just going to be me walking around in it. There's going to be no heavy cars or anything in here, so I think at least that's going to be, well, in fact actually this end's going to have less in it, and I'll explain why. When it was a pig shed, the floor ran down that way a huge amount, and I've dug down, I don't know if you can see it, these rocks here, this is bedrock, all the way along here is extremely hard, so I don't need a lot of concrete. I had marked out before just down here, so when the floor was level it gives me about that much concrete at the other end of the building, and I've slowly leveled the floor out to try and lessen the amount of concrete I'm putting in. So I'm going to stick with this height here, maybe give it a little bit more. Let's have a look what we got. At the moment that's 5 centimetres, so I'm going to go to 7 centimetres. You probably won't see my mark, but I can see it. So I'm going to come to there in concrete, which is absolutely fine. That's sort of 3.5 inches of concrete. So what I do now is I'll measure from there to there, and that's 92.5. So if I go to the next mark, I said 92.5, so I've got my tape measure on my black mark there at 92.5. And you can see this bit's slightly lower here. That's 92.5 there. Now, and that's got about 4 inches. And if I do this, all the way around the room, when I come to pour the concrete, once I see it coming to this level I've got here all the way around, the floor should end up level. I'll go over to the other side so you can see how much more it's going to end up needing in the floor. Let's go over there. So we're at 92.5 there, and look, you can see how much more now. I've got 6 inches of concrete here in the floor. I don't know if you can see it, I'm in the trying to keep out of the light. Let's mark that one there. In fact, that's a lot of concrete. That's a lot of concrete. I might have to bring some of my rubble back in and fill this back in again.
After I shoveled it all out.
Yeah, I know. Right, and you might see better on this one. I'll do it just again in case when I edit it it's a bit dark. And you can see here at the top of my thumb how much concrete. That's a lot. That's going to be quite a lot, you know. It's higher than my hand. And you can see where I've levelled the floor in here with a bit more rubble and hardcore. I've set a drain in already, and it's got a pipe that goes out through there, which was a big 6 or 8 inch pipe, which is where they'd push all the pig waste and droppings and whatnot out, and then that would go under the ground and drop in the terrace there and feed the lemon trees and the orange trees. Right, well, I've just got back this morning from picking up some more ballast, as they call it. The poor old truck is... So we put this down because some of this is just going to fall out. We thought about taking it out with a tractor bucket, but if I open this in the front driveway, this is just going to tip out. So well, it might not be that bad. I was expecting it to want to blow it out, but oh no. So we're going to take it from here and straight into our cement mixer, and so it's going to pour down the ramp. Do you want to show them the ramp? I already sort of did this earlier. Hopefully it's going to pour down there and run into the floor, and then I'm going to move it around in there. So right, let's get on and start doing some mixing.
Yeah.
Right, and that's it finished. All I've got to do is start building my benches, get my lathing over here and build some benches around, and start putting the windows back in. So as you can see, I've got most of the flooring down, the laminate flooring, and I'd like to say thank you very much to Joanne and Steve that gave us 11 packets of laminate flooring they bought for their kitchen, and the kitchen that they've taken out of a house that they've bought over here, and I can't believe they're brand new packets of laminate flooring, so thank you very much.
I would like to thank Mama Bear, who has sponsored one of our goats. If you're interested, you can also sponsor a goat down below. And she has named this beautiful little girl here Bonnie. And if anyone else wants to name one of our new baby goats that's been born on the farm last week, feel free to click the link down below. And I also want to say a big thank you to Johnny Munn, who has also become one of our Patreons. And there is also a link for Patreon down below. So thank you guys for watching this week's video, and hopefully we will see you back here next week with another video.